how to improve your self-esteem with a heartfelt apology. I know, none of us want to apologize, and you might be in a relationship where you're doing all the apologizing and the other person is not. So you might kind of get triggered with some of the things that I talk about here. But none of us want to apologize if we hadn't done anything wrong, or if we think the wrong that we've done is just way out of line with the reaction that we got. But most of us don't intend to offend our spouse or our roommate or our romantic partner or our child, whoever it is that we're closest to. But there's 3 attitudes that I want to share with you that will improve your self-esteem when it comes to heartfelt apologies. First, let me back up. In the 1970s, now I'm going to give my age away, of course, but some of us were teenagers in the 70s, and we saw the movie called Love Story, and it starred Ali McGraw and Ryan O'Neal. And it had this popular phrase that has kind of lasted, and it was, love means never having to say you're sorry. But if we have that embedded in our minds and in our hearts, and we're carrying that from our teenage years, we need to let that go, because the opposite is actually true. Love does mean saying you're sorry, it definitely in a heartfelt way, and being able to feel with the other person that we've wronged. First of all, there's 3 attitudes. The first attitude is an attitude of resilience. Some of us, we have a hard time admitting that we're wrong. We think that if we admit we're wrong, by golly, that's going to just, destroy our inner core of who we really are. And sometimes we do really make impulsive decisions that we don't want to admit, or we lash out in anger, and we do harm another, and it's human nature to justify our actions. But did you know that doing all of these things actually lowers our self-esteem? It indicates a low self-esteem in the first place. If we don't admit that we've offended another person, we're really not accepting or facing the reality of our true selves. Our true selves, actually, we have work to do. We were born into this world, and we all are flawed human beings. Everyone except Jesus, of course. But if we don't admit our flaws, we miss out on receiving forgiveness. We miss out on learning self-compassion, and we actually cheat ourselves of being self-aware. And if we're not self-aware, we're going to create this container in our relationships that's not emotionally safe. Self-awareness is absolutely crucial for our growth and for our relationships. So first of all, the attitude of resilience. And if we have a hard time with that, we need some help. And that's why, it's good to come to counseling and deal with what is it that's keeping us from admitting that, oh, it's okay, we've made a mistake and we've done wrong, and we can say, I'm sorry. Second attitude is the attitude of relationship. We are all wired to be in relationship. We can, and here's a slogan, I don't know if you've heard this, but we can either be right or we can be in relationship. So many people just think really black and white. It's either or, like the enemy or the perpetrator or victim, or black and white, and we think that there's no other way. If I'm right, then the spouse or the other person must be wrong. But being right will actually isolate you. It will keep you from being in relationship. And in being in relationship, I believe God has designed us that way. I mean, we're born in relationship, and our brains are wired to develop through our relationships. So relationships are absolutely crucial to who we are and our sense of self. If we isolate ourselves and we live in this right and wrong, and it destroys those relationships, we are actually creating this lack of safety and isolation, and we're going to be stuck. We're going to be stuck in our messes. So first of all, the attitude of resilience. Secondly, attitude of relationship. And the third one is attitude of restoration. I really believe in my heart of hearts, conflict to connection. Now, there's some conflicts that we will have differences and maintain those differences, and other conflicts we will be able to resolve. But either way, we have an opportunity to grow beyond our world. I use this stress ball all the time in my counseling office. And so it's kind of like, okay, we got the whole world in our hands, and we see the world through our lens, and we need to be able to see through another's perspective. That's what relationships give us. Relationships, we actually have a thing in our brain called mirror neurons, and they actually are mirrors to us. So people in your life are mirrors to your soul. And if we isolate and we don't restore, we're going to miss out on that. So a heartfelt apology, if you learn how to do that and learn how to receive it, it's actually a gift to your self-esteem. It's saying to yourself, I'm human and I need grace and I need God's forgiveness and I need to forgive myself. And also that you're designed to grow in awareness and compassion. And to the other person, you're giving a gift. You're saying to that other person, your world is important to me, and I'm willing to get out of my own world and out of my own perspective and get into yours, because you matter. And thirdly, to the relationship, being felt by another human being is the most remarkable gift you can give. We all long to feel felt and to have empathy. And that's what an attitude of restoration means. We have the three attitudes: resilience, relationship, and restoration. And just remember that love does mean saying a heartfelt, I'm sorry, you matter to me. I'm Judy Herman, and I am a licensed counselor in Tennessee. Remember, this is not a substitute for professional counseling. It's psychoeducational, but I'm also an author of Beyond Messy Relationships. Now, if you scroll down this feed, I have a post-Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day gift to give to you, and it's 3 chapters of my book. I'd love for you to download it, because when you do, I'm going to keep you informed with some pre-order bonuses, and then I also have some things in the works too about some webinars that will help you get beyond your messy relationships. So thanks so much for joining me. All right.